Hello, welcome back to Tarot by Andy. Thank you for being here. This is my vibrational reading. Please do your own research for entertainment purposes and allegedlys. I hope you guys are good. Pretty in Pink off Twitter. We had a little private chat and she brought it up to my attention that before Cory, the chef in Canada, Markle was dating Rory. So it went from Rory to Cory. How's that? Too close in names, I tell you. Anyways, Rory McIlroy, I guess that's how you say it. He's a professional golfer, and he did a ice bucket challenge with Markle. He was dating a tennis player, professional, and they broke up. So I kind of want to dig around to find out if Markle was responsible for that breakup, because it was after that they were dating. Sometimes that's the way the dating world goes. Also, I kind of want to see, was she still married to Trevor at the time? So yeah, lots of men, lots of questions. I think I might ask the pendulum if she was at all involved with David Foster during the Canada time as well. So yeah, it's kind of getting dirty. And apparently, rumor has it, it's just rumor and allegedly, she's threatening divorcing Harry, which I know the family will say, bring it on. I mean, okay, you know. So yeah, she's apparently going to be playing her hand on some things. So let's find out first about Rory and their relationship. So did she really want him? How did she truly feel about him? And was she involved so deep that she was willing to cheat on Trevor? I don't know, you know. To me, I think she was still with him. So I'm going to first hit the pendulum. I think since it is a yes and no, and then I will do the cards. So was she still married to Trevor when she started dating Rory? Was Markle still married to Trevor when she started dating Rory? Was she still married to Trevor when she was dating Rory? Going on dinner dates? Yes. Yes. Okay. And that fits with the timeline because apparently she was still married when she was dating Cory. So, okay. So, did she have any interest in going into a deep relationship with them? Did she have any interest in going into a deep, committed relationship with him? Maybe. So I would say she's probably kind of using him as an appliance to work her way up. The interest was only there temporarily, more than likely, being a maybe. So let's get some energy on Rory. What did Rory think of the experience, I guess, is the next question. What did Rory think of the experience dating Markle? What did Rory think of Markle? Okay, I've got some cards here. First and foremost, I have here the 8 of Swords in the upright. And I have the 8 of Pentacles in the upright with the Wheel in the upright position. So what does that mean? We got here with the 8 of Swords in the reverse position. I would say that's overcoming. He basically was trying to overcome and releasing himself. He just got to escape out of a relationship. So this is why this is here. He no longer was in a relationship that he had just gotten out of. That was with a tennis girl. What was her name? I had her name written down here. Sasha Gale. That's her name. Yes. So he was dating Sasha Gale. He just got released. So that's why this is here. There's a release situation here. With the 8 of Pentacles, that's also an overcoming, taking action. So he was really trying to overcome this previous relationship with these 2 8s here. And then overcoming the energy of the breakup because it's a pentacle. And with the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse position, you know, he had kind of a lack of focus and lack of ambition for Markle, I would say. He was released, he was free, but there was a sort of a lack of ambition. So he probably wasn't super on par with her. Wasn't super thrilled with her, but we have the wheel here. You know, he was pushing forward with it anyways for the time being. It was a change in his life. I would say this is just sort of a change in trying to seek balance. I think he was just trying to get in the game of dating again and getting back out there, is what this is looking like. It's just looking like it's kind of casual on his end, and it was a maybe for her as well. So this is looking like a very casual, we're kind of testing the waters with each other kind of thing. Neither one of them were super interested, but going through changes, so they were kind of keeping each other company, is how I feel about it. And then we have here the Queen of Wands upright. Excuse me, is that upright? No, it's in reverse, yes, because it's dark and things are kind of not going well. So yeah, she was not doing well. He found her to be kind of smothering, most likely. And he probably also found her to be temperamental, domination, melodramatic. She wanted a lot of power and courage. She wanted that power, but she didn't really possess it. And he kind of saw her as a dark female in a lot of ways. She loves the spotlight. This is the loving the spotlight, but this is limitless potential. Her potential was drained. So he saw that her potential wasn't quite there. And she was a little bit melodramatic and too temperamental and very domination, just a dominatrix kind of energy, too much male energy, domination, just total domination. So he felt like she wanted to control him, basically. So not thinking too highly of her, in all honesty, here with the Queen of Wands in reverse. So all queens in reverse, all kings in reverse, they're toxic individuals. So he saw her as a toxic individual in a nutshell. So that's why that didn't go anywhere. He just probably wanted to keep somewhat of a distant friendship after he kind of got a nice dose of her, realized that she's a control freak. And then we have here the Six of Pentacles in the reverse position, so there's no harmony. Yeah, retreat. So he realized it was a failure, and things weren't going so well. That she was selfish, she was struggling, her job was coming to an end, that she really wasn't a generous person. Upright, this is someone who likes to give and receive help, likes to give help. She acted like she was a charity person, giving lots of charity, working with charity, but he didn't see her that way. He saw her as someone who was basically struggling and selfish and not truly a giving nature. So yeah, once again, he didn't think too highly of her. He wasn't thinking he really wasn't interested. And then we have here the Nine of Swords card here, that basically she is someone who causes a lot of emotional turmoil wherever she goes. That she's just going to end up hurting you in essence. And she does it for her own fulfillment. She does it for her own pleasure. Pretty dark energy. So yeah, he saw through her. His intuitive abilities kicked in and he was able to see right through the veil. He saw through the veil, and that's good. They seem to think that we cannot do that people are incapable. Not true. Not true at all, because he was able to. So yeah, he passed on her. He definitely passed on her, I'm feeling. Then we also have here, temperance. Temperance, in the upright position, trying to stay calm and cool in the situation. She was able to do that. She could always keep her cool and try not to look too obvious, but he did see through it based on the other cards here. I also have here the Four of Swords in the upright position, and this also can be the coffin card. Someone not wanting to be seen, wanting to hide out. So he kind of did not want to be seen with her based on her bad reputation that was probably kind of circling around. I don't think he wanted to be seen with her. And he didn't see her as a healing energy to be with, and but to stay with her, he's going to end up getting burned because of this nine of Swords here. So he knew that she was someone to not be seen with. She just had to pour in within the inner circles. It must have been things were being said about her. And then we have here, Two of Cups in reverse. So yeah, he decided based on all that, there's no way this is going down. Yeah, he was not interested in her at all. Then we have here, there we go, Ace of Pentacles in the reverse position, let down. no positive emotions, basically dumping her. So he stopped seeing her. He's the one who did the dumping, not her. We also have here the Emperor in reverse. So yeah, he didn't want her. You know, he did take control, but it got to a point where he had to get kind of nasty with her to get rid of her. He had to use some negative energy, some toxic energy, some harsh words. And then we have here, yeah, the Ten of Cups in reverse. This is a broken relationship. We're not going any further. This is over. So it looks like it ended kind of nasty with some nasty words. And the Queen of Pentacles, she got nasty in return. She got nasty back at him. Okay, you want to get nasty? I can be nasty too. So they exchanged some nasty words, and both of them were, it highlights this whole situation. The Sun upright this highlights the whole situation that they really were not truly good together. And then we have here the Lovers as lovers. You know, as lovers, they would have liked to have been happy together, but based on all the other cards, I'm going to say they realized that they could not be happy together. It's shining the light on the situation. They probably had some, because the Lovers card is here, I would say they were intimate. They were intimate, but they were broken in terms of being able to go further, that there was never going to be any permanence at all with this card, because he realized she was that person who would hurt you and get a little pleasure from it. And that the wheels would fall off. You know, it was very temporary. They tried it for a while, but broke it off. So this was just sort of like a booty call kind of situation. And he realized, no, this chick is not for me. This chick's not for me. And then we also have here the King of Swords. Yeah, you know, there's just another toxic energy card with words, intellect. So intellectually, they sparred probably. They probably fought it out intellectually. They were not of the same yoke. They argued. More than likely, it brought out some negative energy in him. Quite a bit of negative energy came out of him in regards with dealing with her. And then we have here the Empress. She was always just trying to birth something new. So he probably felt that she was using him, being seen with him, using him for her advancement, birth something new. And he did go inward with the Hermit, and he thought about it long and hard and found his own sacred truth and inner guidance that this chick was not for him. So that is how that blew. Yeah, which is good. You know, people can see right through the mask. They really can, because they can't wear it too tightly. She loses her cool. She doesn't keep it on, and people can see right through it. And then when you get a little shot of that, and if you get enough shots of that, it's like, whoa, you can't unsee it. You know, you just can't unsee it. You really can't. And it's gonna sit there in the back of your mind. I've had it on many occasions with people where it's just, I can never get that thought or that vision out of my head, seeing that mask drop. She must have dropped her mask, and he saw the darkness behind the mask, because I'll tell you what, when you see that, it will keep flashing back. You'll have flashback memories of it, to be quite frank. Let's ask, did she drop her mask and it terrified him? Did Markle drop her mask and it terrified Rory? Did she drop her mask and he saw what was behind it? Yes. Did it terrify him? Did it terrify him and he realized she was with a false face person? Did he realize she was a false face person? He was with a false face? Yes. At this point in time, was that when, oh yeah. At this point in time, is that when he decided to pull out of the relationship? At this point in time, did he realize to pull out of the relationship? Yes. Yes. You know, I'm thinking that's probably, well, she cheated on Cory and dumped Cory. So it was I think it was pretty much different with Cory. I do know she used his spaghetti recipe, and she went on Good Morning America, and she claimed it to be her recipe, which involved which is absolutely delicious, which now I can't have red sauce. But anyways, it is with zucchini. You grate zucchini and before you put in your tomatoes and all that. Absolutely fantastic. It makes your spaghetti sauce so amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I did it without even the recipe. I just kind of jimmied it up, and wow, it was fantastic. And she used that. She went on Good Morning America, which did put a strain on the relationship, because he got really upset with her. So that was kind of part of the downfall of their relationship, was her taking credit for his recipe and saying it was hers. So that didn't sit well with him. So now let's get a little bit of Cory here. Let's get some Cory on how he felt about Markle at the end. How did Cory feel about Markle at the end? If you hear my baby girl in the background, she is using a chewy stick this morning to keep her from bugging mom. Here we go, Cory. Cory, the chef Cory. Let's get some chef Cory. He is long gone. He is in a relationship. He has his own child now. And he's moved on, so that's good for him. He doesn't have to worry about her. So Cory and Markle, Cory and Markle. Let's get some more energy on Cory and Markle. Cory and Markle in that relationship. Cory and Markle. Here we go. Wow. Okay, those are the cards. What do I have here? Ooh, oh my. Okay, the first one here is the Page of Cups in reverse. So he felt she was very immature. Pages are all very immature, especially when it's in the reverse position. It's in the most immature position. It's bad enough in the upright, but when you get it in this position, that's very immature. So she is under the age of 22 in maturity is how he felt about her. Also with it being in reverse, it's the Peter Pan syndrome, not wanting to grow up. So he really saw her immature. She brought a lot of unhappy news with her when she came storming in his restaurants, clanking her heels and being self-righteous to all his staff. They hated her. I've done previous spreads on what they thought of her. There was a public letter posted on Twitter from an employee who went off about how she thought she was someone so special, and the way she spoke down at his staff was pretty bad, you guys. So this is why we're saying this, because his employees did not want her coming into the restaurant. And she probably drank excessively when she was there, and she obviously got out of hand when she was there. So that did not sit well. So that was part of the problem. I would say also I'm feeling, it caused a lot of unhappiness. She brought gray skies basically when she came walking in. Everyone felt like this when they had to wait on her. Nobody wanted to wait on Markle. Everyone would just be like, oh, please don't give me that table. And that was what publicly leaked out, is nobody wanted to serve her. So she brought a lot of unhappiness when she would come into the restaurants. And they also felt that this was something that they could not ever overcome. You know, they didn't want to be resilient in dealing with her. We have 10 of Wands in reverse. It was she was a complete burden to be around. And it was a last stand. I think a lot of employees said, look, you got to dump this chick. He realized it was a last stand, desperate last stand. There's lots of burden and oppression. So she brought a lot of burden and oppression with her and a lot of misery. So yes, she was not liked in his circle, not with his employees. He realized it. And it was not, it had to come to an end. This just got to come to an end. And then we have here the Strength in reverse. She was unable to control herself. She had no ability to control herself, her inner self. And he realized that. So that's why that relationship tanked. Because he just saw what a miserable person she was and the misery she brought, not only him, but to his staff as well. Let's get under the surface. Under the surface, that's highlighting this whole situation. He self-sabotaged himself by being with her, with the Eight of Swords. So he realized this is totally self-sabotage by being with her. Consciously, this is what he thought. In the center of the deck, we have here the tower crashing. Total frying, burned down. So he realized she was taking him down with his staff, with his employees, and within his own personal life. And it was a complete, total self-sabotage to be dating her. So this is wow. This is a real crash and burn here with her with Cory. So yes, from Rory to Cory, and then to Harry. So, and then Harry was too dumb and didn't have the intellect, nor did he have that I think it must be because he was on too much. He liked to indulge too much. So he really wasn't tapped into his higher self, and he just ignored everyone. I mean, if other men can see the red flags, why couldn't Harry see the red flags? What is wrong with Harry? Let's pull a few cards on why Harry's higher intellect and higher self did not kick in? Why did Harry's higher self did not kick in to realize the dark energy of Markle? Why did Harry's higher self not kick in? Why did Harry ignore his higher self? Why did Harry ignore his higher self? Why did Harry ignore his higher self? It had to have told him, well, that's why. 10 of Cups, because he felt he was completely broken. He did not have his happy ever after card. This is the family card. So he felt broken within the family when he met her, as we all know. So he didn't have his happy ever after like William did. That's probably the jealousy and envy there. And he wanted this. He wanted it so bad that he chose to ignore the situation because he wanted to feel whole. So this is broken marriage, empty nest, and troubles. And he wanted this. So he was willing to put that aside and ignore it, which is really what a lot of people do. Those red flags are there very early on, but if you're a broken individual, you're going to choose to ignore it. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah, I don't even need to pull more cards. Under the surface, what I have here is 3 of Wands in the reverse position. So he had nothing going on. He wasn't expanding. He wasn't creating. He didn't have anybody on his plate of what to do. Girls were turning him down. He wasn't having luck in finding a wife. He had been told no a couple of times on 3 occasions that we know of. So everyone he was interested in told him no. So that's why we have the 3 of Wands, and he was feeling rather broken. That's a very broken individual right there. And he was losing steam, losing ambition, losing excitement. And he wanted what William had, which was that happy ever after card. And he was feeling like a real broken individual. In the center of it, so this is just all confirmation here, we have the Page of Wands in reverse. And he was very, very immature, Peter Pan syndrome, unhappy, oversensitive, not going well. His path was not happening. So that is why he ignored it. He chose to ignore it because he was hoping she could make him whole, which we know she didn't. So that's why he ignored it. And that's a big problem when you're dating. That's why I tell people you really need to take time out for yourself if you're broken, because you're going to make a wrong move. You're going to allow your emotions to take over, and you're not using your intellect. And when you override and use your emotions and you don't allow your intellect to take over, guess what? You're going to make all the wrong moves. You got to use your mind. Yes, love is good, but you've got to use your brain. And he really did shut it off. So let's get some more. Let's get some energy on Markle now again, on her. She is threatening, apparently, as I said, allegedly threatening the firm, the queen, everybody, with divorce. She's going to divorce Harry. So let's see. Is there any truth to that? Is there any truth to Markle threatening divorce right now? Is there any truth to Markle threatening divorce right now? Well, we do have the 9 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords is yes. I would say, well, 9 of Swords is no, but it's willing to be cruel. So she's using cruelty. She is using cruelty towards them. So no, she's currently not. But she does like to do it. She likes to throw out some hints. I would say that she's hinting around at it, but there's not an outright threat because it is the 9 of Swords, which is no. She needs him. She absolutely needs him right now, but she's willing to throw out the intellectual hinting around, more than likely just out of pleasure. She would like to communicate with them, but they've shut her out. So how is she going to communicate with them? They're telling her no. So no, but very, very cruel individual. And she will do it. And she's not suffering. She's not suffering at all. This is not her suffering. This is her putting out those swords. So she is playing dirty, if she can, through social media, because they're not going to talk to her. So she's cut off. She cannot converse with them. It would have to be through Harry saying that she's doing it within the home. That would be the only way, in all honesty. So I think that's going to be my next question, since I got the no card. Let's find out. Is Harry saying that? Because that could have been Harry saying that to someone, and that could be the leak. At this point would be Harry saying, she's always threatening me. She's always threatening me. Which is totally on par with the pathology, and then doing nothing about it. It's just a means to gain back control over your target, you know, getting that manipulation in and getting her way, you know. Winning is everything. So that's gaining control. So I would say it's just gaining control with her harsh words there. So is Harry saying, does Harry say that Markle is constantly threatening divorce? Does Harry say that Markle is always threatening divorce? Does Harry say it? That was my pop. Well, well, well. Yeah. Look at that. Out of this whole deck, you guys, that thing popped out. Yes, 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 yes. She's always threatening it. What's at the bottom of the deck? What is at the bottom of the deck? We have here the Emperor. Yes, the Emperor. And she's doing it to get control. She wants to get control. It's all about control. So she does it to gain control, just like I was saying. And then in the center of the deck, what do I have here? Let's get right in the center there. We got here the Devil energy. Yeah, willing to do anything to get her way. Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. That is definitely control and manipulation. She is not threatening it to the family as of now, only to Harry. So that, don't believe the rumor. It's just privately within their own little world, really. So that's not unusual at all. But I'm sure Harry doesn't really believe it. But we'll get some more energy here. Let's get some more energy on the threats. Threats of divorce. Threats of divorce. Bring it on. That's what everybody says. Bring it on. Okay, energy. There we go. What is it? Aha. Adversity. It's because she's facing adversity. It's a way to get control. Whenever he pushes back, she pulls this card out. I'll get you back in line. That's how she gets him back in line. You don't go against my opinions here, Harry. It's always what I want. Don't you know? Get back on the program. We're not to be against each other. We're supposed to be of like mind. You're supposed to agree with me. We are of the same yoke. If you try and do this adversity with me, I will pull out this card here. And that's what she does. Yep, they sure do it. Here we go. Let's get some more energy. Here we go. Door to Spirit. And I would say Harry probably feels that he's going to lose his you-know-what. For me, that card always represents going to the other side. And losing the desire to be here. Thinking about going to Door to Spirit. I'm going to ask if she actually tells him to. Because it does get that dark. It does get that dark. I'm going to try to stay upbeat in my tone of voice here. Yes, got to stay high vibe despite the topic. Here we go. Does she tell him to do this? I don't even say the word because, well, I just don't want to. Does she tell him to do it? We know what I'm getting at. Does she tell him to do it? Does she tell him, just do it, Harry? No one will care. Does she tell him, just do it, Harry? Just do it, Harry. Because there are cases out there where that is the situation. Here we go. So we have here, she is the ruler. And she's very cold and unkind ruler. We have here, it's the snake and the bullying card. So yeah, she wants to maintain control and she's willing to be extremely unkind to do it. So ruling and unkind queen energy. I'm going to get at the bottom of the deck on that. And yes, emotional bond in reverse, diamond ring in reverse. Removing yourself from the marriage, from the commitment, inability to commit. So I would say yes, hands down, because I just pulled that from the bottom of the deck. The center of the deck, what do I have here? We have here spontaneous. Right now it's in reverse, holding back. But she wouldn't mind him being spontaneous and being the butterfly and spontaneously doing it. You know, just not thinking, basically. The Fool. It's the Fool taking that selfish path. The Fool's card in reverse in the Rider-Waite is taking a selfish path, basically. Not taking a new perspective. Not really thinking clearly. Not going in their head and figuring out a new solution for themselves. And just doing it and removing yourself, removing your energy from the union, because it's a Two of Pentacles. He's not grounded. He doesn't have the new opportunities. It's stress, it's false start, a poor investment. I've said this the other day that with psychopaths, high malignant narcissists, everything is about an investment. Everything is what they can gain from you, what you give them, what services you provide. They give very little, if anything. They actually have nothing to offer, to be quite frank. This is the big secret of narcissists and psychopaths, is they got literally nothing to offer you, except maybe a lot of people will say, pardon the word, is circus sex, okay? They will provide circus sex for you in the bedroom, and that's about as much as they have, because they've got that whole love bombing thing really, really down. They're very gifted between the sheets. They know what you want. They will make sure you have the best experience between the sheets, and that is pretty much all they can offer, as well as also the love bombing in public, being a good arm jewelry, trying to make you look good publicly, but behind the scenes, they're going to torment you. They are the cat, you are the mouse. They will play with you, claw at you, and then destroy you, very much like the cat-mouse chase. So yes, she totally would not mind if he did it. He's holding back, but he has absolutely no ability to take a new perspective. He's not going to take a new perspective. He's got very clouded insight from the other cards I pulled. He has this inability to look at himself, really judge, and look at the big picture. He's lacking the ability to look at the big picture, it seems like. She is such a control freak. She gets very cold and icy. Like a true psychopathic, antisocial person, they would not care if you died. If you died, they will just go have another, they're going to yawn. They're going to yawn. I read a lot from psychopaths and from high malignant. They don't care. They fake emotion when someone dies. There's absolutely no concern whatsoever, and that's what this is saying. She would not care if he did. And so she probably does say it. Go ahead, Harry. Your life is destroyed anyways, Harry. Just do what you feel like, Harry. So she probably does it in that sense. Let me ask, and then I'm going to calculate those. I'm going to calculate those two together and then these two together. So does she tell Harry, just go ahead, Harry, nobody's going to miss you? Does she tell him, Harry, just do it, nobody's going to miss you anyways? Just do it. No one's really going to care, Harry. Yes. 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 So, yeah, that's part of the relationship, you guys. It's part of the cycle. They will break anybody. It's because they're broken. Like I did that post earlier through my channel about what's in your cup. What's in your cup? When you spill your cups, when someone bumps into you or when life gets rough, what's going to spill out of your cup is basically your own inner emotions and feelings, what you've been bearing and hiding and holding within. It's going to come spilling out. And for her, it's always anger, coldness, and being a ruler, supreme leader. She's got to be supreme leader Megan. And doesn't care if someone takes himself out, has the inability to commit, cannot truly commit. There's no commitment here. There never was. There never will be. It never will happen. Not now, not with anybody. Complete inability to. Why? She doesn't have the love hormones producing in her brain as far as I'm concerned. That amygdala is shrunken. That left anterior insula is messed up. Prefrontal cortex is messed up. The lack of brain matter. The gray matter is less. They actually have a brain malformation, incapacity to love. She cannot love, period. She cannot love an animal. She cannot love a kid. She cannot love anything. They can't love themselves. They don't love objects. They're really filled with anger and coldness, rage, envy. They live with it. They hate everybody. They don't love anybody. And I really think she is very, very antisocial, you guys. The more and more I go on with this channel, the more I'm pretty concerned. She's not just a narcissist. I think she is heading into total psychopathy here, in all honesty. Complete incapacity. And it doesn't matter who she's with. It's all about ruling and being a nasty queen. And willing to, it's just mind-boggling, but that's who they are, you guys. So these two here together comes to, this one here comes to 52. 52 52 is judge. She's going to be judge, jury, and executioner, basically. So she thinks that would take a wrong and make it right, and you reap what you sow, Harry. So you kind of brought this on yourself, so that's sort of that deny, deflect, and devalue and scapegoat him. And then here we have 25. 25 comes to 7 of hearts, stars. It would be the right thing to do, Harry. Go ahead, Harry. That's your only way, that's your only hope, is to go to spirit for renewal. Star is hope, heal, spirit, and renewal, and taking the right path. So she does tell him it would be the right thing to do, Harry. So yeah, go ahead, Harry. So yeah, she's done this before. I've gotten this before on many occasions, so that's still there. It hasn't gone away. It's still there, and it will remain. And hopefully he doesn't for himself. Hopefully he escapes and he doesn't do this door to spirit. But this has always been a concern for me. And I hold my ground on this. Harry is very much at risk of self-sabotaging himself and taking himself off the earth plane because he got ensnarled by her and she's encouraging it. And if he's at a bad enough spot here with the 9 of Swords with her cruelty, unable to cope because the family, he's not in control, she's in control. The dynamics with the family not being at a good place, he really needs to get in a better place with the family so that he has some hope for himself. Without that, he's totally going to do this. If there's no repairing going on and there's no hope for him, this is Harry's future right here. And I can't get around it, you guys, because this has been here for quite a while, sadly. He has been holding on. He's been holding back. We got this fool in reverse. He's holding back. But the thought process is there, in all honesty. And she knows it too. She knows she can do enough pulling of threads on him. She can pull that final thread on him to get him to finally do the upright and take that path. And jump off the cliff and take the chance and see what happens, which, he could have a failed attempt. And then if he had a failed attempt, wow, he's going to end up in a brain damage for life and in an institution for life. So, that's something to think about, Harry, if you happen to watch this. I hope you guys enjoyed this sad spread. Yes, unfortunately. Yes, let's clear the energy. Whoa, negative energy. Clear, clear, clear. All right, you guys, try to ring a bell if you got a bell in your home. That'll get rid of the juju, okay? Or sage, or if you got any kind of this, you just go clear yourself. Get rid of this. Or you can just say, this works too. Spirit guides and angels, please remove all negative vibrations and energies that does not belong to me. And say it over and over and over. And just sit quietly and say it. Spirit guides and angels, please remove all negative vibrations and energies that does not belong to me. It works. It works because I can feel the tingle on the top of my head right now. All right, you guys. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.